arms and took them quite away.
Consider your verdict.
Not yet, not yet. There's plenty of evidence to come before that.
Call the next witness. Call the first witness.
First witness.
Yo, what it do?
I beg your pardon for bringing these in, Your Majesty, but I hadn't quite finished my tea when I was sent for.
You ought to have finished. When did you begin?
It was the 14th of March, I think it was?
15.
16. Ah, yes.
Write that down. And you take off your hat.
Oh, well, it isn't mine.
Stolen!
No, I know this line.
I keep them to sell.
I keep them to sell. I've none of my own. I'm a hatter.
Give your evidence, and don't be nervous, or I'll have you executed on the spot.
Bring me the list of singers in the last concert.
Give your evidence, or I'll have you executed, whether you're nervous or not.
I am a poor woman, Your Majesty, and line.
I hadn't begun my tea.
And I hadn't begun my tea, and what with the bread and butter getting so thin, and the twinkling of the tea.
Twinkling of the what?
It began with the tea.
Of course. It's the tea. You take me for a dunce? Go on.
Well, and most things twinkled after that, only the March Hare said.
I did!
You did!
Nuh-uh! 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 I deny it! He denies it! That part.
Oh, fine, I'm sorry.
Well, at any rate,
Well, at any rate, did I cut some more bread and butter?
The dormouse said.
And at any rate, the dormouse said, and then I cut some more bread and butter.
But what did the dormouse say?
That I can't remember.
You must remember, or I'll have you executed.
I am a poor woman, Your Majesty.
You're a very poor speaker.
What is this? Oh my God, that hurt. Sorry, it's okay. No!
I'm glad I've seen that done. So often I read in the newspapers at the end of trials, there were some attempts at applause, which was immediately suppressed by officers of the court. And I never understood what that meant until now.
Fine.
if that's all you know.
If that's all you know, you may stand down.
Well, I can't go no lower. I'm on the floor as it is.
Then you may sit down.
I'd rather finish my tea.
You may go.
And just take her head off outside.
Call the next witness. Give your evidence.
Shut!
Your Majesty was cross-examined.
Well, if I must, I must. What are tarts made of?
Pippa
Sugar. Behead that dormouse. Call that dormouse. Surprise him. Hit her. Up with the whiskers.
Go, little dude. You got it. You got this.
Never mind! Fine.
No,
Call the next witness. Really, my dear, you must cross-examine.
Call the next witness. Really, my dear, you must cross-examine the next one. Quite makes my forehead ache.
I wonder what the next witness will be like, since they haven't gotten much evidence yet. Alice, here.
Trial cannot proceed until all jurymen are back in their proper places. All. Now, what do you know about this business?
Nothing.
Nothing whatever?
Nothing, whatever.
Line?
That's very important.
That's very important.
Unimportant, Your Majesty, of course.
Ah, unimportant. I meant, of course, unimportant, important, unimportant. Silence! Rule 42. All persons more than a mile high to leave the court.
He meant her.
I'm not a mile high.
You are.
Nearly 2 miles high.
Well, I won't go. Besides, that's not a regular rule. You invented it just now.
Why, it's the oldest rule in the book.
Then it ought to be number 1.
So now let the jury consider the verdict.
What?
There's more evidence to come?
There's more evidence to come, There's more evidence yet to come, Your Majesty. Please, wait.
This paper has just...
This paper has just been delivered, picked up, right?
Yep.
This paper has just been picked up. What's in it? I haven't opened it yet, but it appears to be a letter written by the prisoner to someone.
Well, that must be it. Unless it was written to nobody, which it isn't usually, you know.
But who is it addressed to?
It isn't directed at all?
It isn't directed at all.
In fact, there's nothing
In
written.
fact, there's nothing written on the outside. It doesn't appear to be a letter after all. It's a set of verses.
Are they in the prisoner's handwriting?
No, that's the queerest thing about it.
She must have imitated somebody else's hand.
Oh, please. Your Majesty. I didn't write it, and they can't prove I did. There's no name signed at the end.
Well, if you didn't sign it, that saves the world out of it. Line,
That only makes the matter worse.
that only makes the matter worse. You must have meant some mischief, or you would have signed your name like an honest man.
That proves her guilt.
It proves nothing of the sort. Why, you don't even know what they're about.
Read them.
Where shall I begin, please, Your Majesty?
Begin at the beginning, and then go on until you come to the end. Then stop.
They told me you had been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. He sent them word I had not gone. We know it to be true. If you should push the matter on, what would become of you? I gave her one, they gave him two. You gave us 3 or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before. If I or she should chance to be involved in this affair, he hopes to you to set them free exactly as they were. My notion was that she had been, or you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him and ourselves and it. Don't let them know she liked them best, for this must never be. A secret kept from all the rest, between yourselves and me.
Well, that's the most important piece of evidence we've heard yet. So now, let the jury...
If any one of them can explain it, I'll give them $1. I don't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
Well, if there's no meaning in it, we need to try to find any. Why?
And yet I don't know. I seem to see some meaning in them.
And yet, I don't know. I seem to see some meaning in them after all. Said I could not swim. You can't swim, can you?
Do I look it?
All right. Line.
So far, we know it to be true.
So far, we know it to be true. That's the jury, of course. I gave him 1, they gave him 2. Why, that must be what you did with the tarts.
But it goes on, they all returned from me to you.
Why, there they are. Line.
Nothing can be clearer than that.
Nothing can be clearer than that.
Then again, before she had this fit.
Then again, before she had this fit. You haven't had fits, my dear, I think.
Never.
And the words don't fit you, said the king. It's a pun. So now, let the jury consider their verdict.
No, sentence first, verdict afterward.
Stuff and nonsense. The idea of having the sentence first.
Hold your tongue.
I won't.
Off with her head.
Who cares about your orders? You're nothing but a bag of hot air.
Access denied. Screw access!
Blackout.
Alice, wake up, Alice, dear. What a long sleep you've had.
I've had such a strange dream. It all started when I followed a white rabbit down to a land where the queen, why, she looked almost exactly like you.
Well, it sounds like a strange dream, dear, certainly, but now run in and get ready for dinner. It's getting late. You better hurry. You wouldn't want to lose your head. Dinah! Dinah, dinner time! Twas brillig in the silky coves, did Queen and gimble in the wave. On Mimsy where the thora grows, and the mome racks out brave. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub bird and shun, the pernicious bandersnatch.
And blackout.